Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Lee Finnegan noted that same medicine was in both Paul Hollister and Tom Starr's systems, so she knew exactly who was responsible. Poppy Nozawa sounded nervous and suggested the answer was egregious to her, but Lee felt confident Sheila Sharp was to condemn. Lee advised John Finnegan not to defend Sheila, so he claimed he wouldn't. Finn admitted the study had crossed his mind about Sheila's implicit involvement, but he refocused out that the deaths could still be accidental. Lee maintained that Sheila was shamefaced, so she planned to march over to Il Giardino and defy that madwoman. Finn argued that Lee couldn't just go over there without conclusive substantiation, but Lee stood her ground. When Finn said he'd go with Lee, she argued that he couldn't undermine his marriage and jeopardize his family. At Forrester Creations, Brooke Logan, Ridge Forrester, Steffy Forrester, and Hope Logan all bandied the news of Hollis' demise passing so soon after Tom's. Steffy allowed. It was egregious that Sheila was shamefaced and felt that indeed Hope's gut was telling her the same thing. Hope admitted it was possible that Tom and Hollis failed because of Sheila. After Steffy promised to make Sheila pay and took off, a reflective Hope flashed back to Sheila and Deacon Sharp's marriage. Brooke checked on Hope, who refocused out that Deacon would want solid evidence before he believed anything. Ridge didn't suppose Cleric would believe whatever was in the report anyway, but he surely backed Steffy up when it came to Sheila being the malefactor. At Il Giardino, Deacon snapped at a journalist over the phone and complained to Sheila about all the predators, trying to make it feel like the eatery was cursed. Still, Deacon confessed that it did feel like a pest had fallen upon Il Giardino. Cleric was starting to suppose Tom and Hollis' deaths were anything but arbitrary accidents. Sheila suggested Deacon was just trying to make sense of the tragedies and played down the idea of foul play. Back at the morgue on Tuesday's B&B occasion, Steffy showed up looking for updates on Hollis' necropsy report. Lee claimed that just like Tom, Hollis was boggled by Sheila. Finn said that was Lee's interpretation of the results, but he agreed it was possible since Hollis and Tom failed the same way. The details of Hollis' report showed that his demise was suspicious since the same medicine that killed Tom was in his system. Steffy argued it was no accident that two workers dropped dead in the same place where Sheila worked. Although Steffy didn't have all the answers, she knew one thing for certain and pledged that this time Sheila would pay for her crimes. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Steffy will keep leading the charge against Sheila, so we'll bring you more prognostications on how effects will turn out for Finn's bio mama. At the morgue, Lee tells Finn and Poppy that both Tom and Hollis failed of an overdose. The same medicine was set up in both of their systems. Poppy gasps, "That's so awful," as Lee muses, "It's not an accident." She says they were killed, and she knows exactly who did it. Poppy asks, "Who?" Lee says, "You know exactly who I am talking about, Penelope." Lee continues that it's egregious. Poppy doesn't understand. Lee thinks it's clear. These two men came in regular contact with an unstable woman who has a history of violent felonious jest. Sheila Carter killed those men. At Forrester, Ridge, Brooke, Hope, and Steffy read the reports on Hollis' death. Ridge remarks that this might take a bite out of Deacon's pizza business. Brooke says they read probing and canvassing the other workers. Steffy feels there's one hand they should be questioning first. It's not hard to connect the blotches and figure out who's behind this. Hope says her pater wants to know how this happened further than anyone. Steffy asks, indeed, if his woman's behind it? Hope points out Tom failed of an overdose. Steffy says Sheila hurts people still she can. Brooke backs her up. Sheila's able of anything. Hope is forced to agree. Tom and Hollis could have failed because of Sheila. At Il Giardino, Deacon is on the phone saying he'll cooperate with the police. He prides himself on running a high-class establishment and won't let this go. He vows to find out what happened because Tom and Hollis weren't just workers, but also his musketeers. Sheila listens to the call. He slams the phone down and complains to his woman that the press are predators. This isn't going to be good for the eatery. He feels sick over losing his musketeers and wants answers. I want to know what the hell happened. Sheila coaxes Deacon not to let the journalist get to him. He'd nothing to do with this. Deacon argues that it's his eatery. What the hell happened to Hollis? Sheila assures him he gave them attention, care, and respect. Deacon agonizes that Tom said he was clean and also he overdosed. It doesn't make sense. He wonders if Hollis was sick or just in the wrong place at the wrong time. We've no idea how Hollis failed. At the morgue, Lee warns her son not to defend Sheila. Finn admits he was allowing the same thing. Poppy agrees that she has a shocking history. Finn warns they can't say that what happened to Tom and Hollis was accidental. Medicines kill. Lee says, so does Sheila. She reminds him she shot him and Steffy and ran her off the road and left her to die. I'm absolutely certain that Sheila Carter boggled those two men. At Forrester, Ridge recaps that everyone advised Cleric about getting involved with Sheila. Steffy says he doesn't earn an ounce of sympathy or understanding. Getting near to Sheila, you're re-inviting chaos into your life. Brooke's sure he realizes it now. Steffy says Finn is at the sanitarium with Lee, who's overseeing Hollis' necropsy. There's no mistrustfulness in her mind that Sheila is behind this, and this time, Sheila will pay. At Il Giardino, Sheila tells Deacon he's asking her effects, she can't answer. Cleric can see she's shaken too. She says it's sad what happened to Tom and Hollis, but the deaths could be unconnected. It's possible that these were just two woeful accidents. Deacon says they'll know soon enough. He's starting to suppose that the deaths were anything but an accident. At the morgue, Lee repeats her assertion that Sheila is responsible for the men's deaths. Finn admits it's possible that she was involved. It's worth looking into. Lee says that's exactly what she's going to do. She announces she's going over to the eatery to defy that madwoman. Finn cautions that there's no substantiation tying her to his, however, he'll go with her, if she insists on going. Lee won't let him undermine his marriage. Just also, Steffy knocks and enters cautiously and asks about how Hollis failed. Lee says, just like Tom Starr. Hollis was boggled by Sheila. At Forrester, Hope flashes to Deacon telling her she means the world to him, but so does Sheila. She thinks about her pater's marriage as she reflects on Steffy and Ridge's assertion that Sheila killed those men. Brooke suddenly asks how she's doing. Hope says she's upset about her pater. And the eatery. It's heartbreaking what happened to Hollis, who failed each alone. She wants to understand why this happened. Ridge barks that they all know what happened, her father let Sheila into his life. Hope says her father will want concrete evidence before he entertains the idea that Sheila is responsible. Ridge doesn't suppose he'll believe what's in the necropsy report. They agree it's horrible what happened to Hollis, but they've to make sure this doesn't be again. This is each about Sheila. At the eatery, Cleric tells Sheila it's like there's notoriety or commodity behind this. Tom was turning his life around. Sheila understands that he doesn't want his musketeers' deaths to be pointless. It's disturbing and woeful, but it's not murder, she insists. At the morgue, Steffy gops, murder. Finn explains his mama's interpretation of the necropsy points to this since Tom and Hollis both failed of a medicine overdose. Also, Hollis's death appears suspicious. Finn doesn't want to jump to any conclusions, but he can't deny that the report is concerning. Not only did Hollis overdose, he failed of the same medicine that killed Tom. Steffy gasps, Sheila. Lee nods. Steffy declares that there are no concurrents where Sheila is concerned. Hollis was shocked when Tom failed and now, he has failed the same way. It's minatory. Sheila killed Tom and Hollis. My God. Steffy doesn't know how, but this time one thing is certain. Sheila will pay for her crimes. Lee nods in agreement.